Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another one of our lovely Highway to the Zemus-Zone races. My name's Natara. I will be your restreamer for tonight, and I am going to immediately hand you over to our lovely commentary team, BigDunka and CasualGeekDave.
Thank you, Natara, and welcome for yet another exciting race in our
This is BigDunka here. Welcome everybody. Hopefully you guys can hear me out there okay.
Yeah, let's try this again. Can you hear us now?
There we go. Love technology.
All right, so looks like they're hearing you, but not me.
You sound good. Go with it.
Yeah, let's roll with it. All right, so the race is getting ready to get started. Again, we are running with Supremacy, Demerine, Xyrak, and Scratchdragon, all fighting for a spot in our tournament brackets here in the league. All right, cool. They're hearing us both now. Fantastic. All right, and the race is about to start. All right, our runners are off to find out who we got. So we're starting with Kid Rydia and Dark Knight Cecil.
Oh, that is going to be fun.
And our first key item out of the gate is the tower key. So not very useful yet until they get to the underground.
Yeah, these starts are always fun with when you're going to be underpowered out of the gate.
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference. And then the flags that we're using for these tournament matches, key items can be found in our normal key item locations, but they can also be found in trap chests and summon spots as well. So that definitely widens the pool where these key items can be found and should make things pretty interesting. Very often you'll see our racers immediately just dive Baron and kind of just raid the place for all the items they can find and to check the Baron end spot to see who's there. Looks like we have Tella there, so not much help.
Well, seeing this open, you gotta assume that somebody very early is going to check Hobbs to see if there's a useful character there early in the game.
Yeah, with this we have the no free lunch flags on, so there's very limited places to where they can get additional party members. So Mount Hobbs is a very common early check to see what party member they can get to bolster their ranks. Getting a Lilith Rod there in Baron, that's slightly helpful for Rydia to at least get a little bit of damage output out of her once they get some levels added. Looks like Supremacy and Xyrak doing a quick dive of Mist for treasure. And that first item shop in Baron having some Cures, Cabins, and Ethers. The Cabins can be pretty useful in that ends are very slow. Not only do you have to walk to them, but the animation of sleeping in an inn is very slow. So if our racers do have to take a rest to kind of up their party, that cabin is a much faster alternative to using an inn. And more flexible, because they can use it as safe spots. All right.
Really early on, the item selection has been really poor.
Yeah, been pretty slim so far. It looks like Demer found a dragon armor, at least a dragoon armor, I should say, and
a couple of Gaia drums. those Gaia drums are going to be nice. That's the first real offensive item that I have seen so far in this, and that's going to come in handy.
Yeah, especially early on here with Rydia and Dark Knight Cecil, offense is a premium.
Yeah, here comes that Hobbs check.
Yep. Scratchdragon, meanwhile, noting the poor items they've gotten so far, is making their way to check Troya to get some additional items here to help with the early parts of the game. Hourglass 3, that'll be handy.
And it's Edward.
Of course. Well, this is a rough game for them so far as far as character selection.
Wow, Edward, Cecil, Rydia, and Tella. That's no good.
Yeah, I've been just noping right out of that.
Yeah, I don't blame him. That's not a character you care to get early on. It's not going to do you much good. There haven't even really been any bow drops either. I believe a crossbow has been obtained, but that's it.
Definitely no particularly decent arrows to speak of. And I think it'll be really mixed to see who goes after Edward and who doesn't here. Many will probably choose to nope out of it, but having just even an additional meat shield, somebody else to throw items, is sometimes advantageous. So as you see Supremacy there's going to give it a shot.
Yeah, probably in the back of their brains right now, they're really hoping with a seat like this, with these types of characters, that the hook does not come anywhere close to their inventory. I just caught that. There was a Dragon Whip pickup there in Antlion Cave. Now that will be a nice item.
Yeah, especially they can get a heroin armor for Rydia. That could definitely be a useful early offense.
Supremacy is sticking it out here and trying to pick up Edward.
And never underestimate the the need of a good meat shield, and Edward at least provides that.
You know, the more and more you do this, you do occasionally find Edward has a use. It's rare, but it does exist from time to time.
I mean, at the very least, especially with this party, they're going to be throwing a lot of items, and Edward can do that, so.
Looks like Big On is the first boss down there in Antlion Cave.
It's bangin'! Alright. So far, not providing too much trouble, but that Gaia drum from Demerine should make pretty quick work of him.
Yeah, Xyrak chose not to use those Gaia drums. Either did not find them or decided not to use them. I believe I saw Boreas used, but not too difficult to fight.
Yeah, may just be opting to save them for a more difficult fight. And we got a hook.
Oh no!
Early hook seed confirmed.
Well, what that is going to do is going to prioritize Mount Ordeals. Mount Ordeals has to be checked now, especially if they are going to go after Tella at Baron, and to try to power up Cecil without it, going through that hook route just seems nigh impossible.
Yeah, with the weak offense here, I think it would be worth it to go after getting Paladin Cecil at this point, for sure. It's often a choice we have to make, is whether or not it's really worth the time to even do that, or if it's worth replacing Cecil or not. And there's not a lot of options on the board right now.
Yeah, they will at least get one more character down in Evelyn Cave, but at this point, it could be another Edward.
Yep, there is another potential duplicate out there. RBG Mel making a great point. It could also be Fusuya, you never know, but gotta plan with what you have immediately at hand, unfortunately.
Looks like Xyrak is following suit with Supremacy with Edward as well.
Supremacy now making the dive in Troy to get the items available here. Yeah, I apologize to our viewers. We are having a little bit of technical hiccups with our voice program. We may robot out on occasion. We're trying to clear it up.
Looks like Demerine is first to Fable. It'll be interesting to see who this one is, especially again with the early offense. Appears to be Mom Bomb. This is not going to be an easy fight.
No, it could be potentially very difficult, especially depending on what items are here to use. And Mom Bomb can pack quite a bit of punch. You see that Rydia just immediately going down.
Yeah, Mom Bomb can be deceptively difficult with the melee attacks.
Supremacy finding some very useful star veils. Donkey Kong Cecil doing what he does best, healing.
Oh, such a slow start here. This is it'll be very, very interesting when they start heading to, the hook, and as well as doing ordeals about how deep they go into this, trying to maybe squeeze an extra level or two out.
And really, slow starts like this can really get in the runners' heads, and they have to really be careful and keep their cool so they don't, make a mistake. Because they're always, there's always that constant in the back of your head of depending on the choices other people made, you might have just easily lost the lead, stuff like that. So
very nice clear of the bombs there.
Very well done. Supremacy and Xyrak making their way through to the below gauntlet as well. And Adamant, not helpful.
Definitely not helpful.
Womp womp. And again, seeing a Dragoon Shield there. More armor that might be useful for Paladin Cecil, but not a whole lot really for Dark Knight Cecil at this point, other than we need to get rid of him.
Yeah, absolutely. So this next decision is going to be interesting. Basically we have two people on Fable as well. My guess is Scratch is heading over there right now. Yep. And then you got to wonder, are they going to try to clear Baron or head to Ordeals? Because beyond that, and maybe checking the hook for another character, they don't really have many options available to them.
Yeah, definitely short on options here. They know they have Tella at Baron, but that could easily wait until after Ordeal, so he's actually useful. Supremacy making their way through the bomb squad. Tara pointed out that Demerine saw exits in Troya. That's a definitely good item at this point, at least speed up this early slog point a little bit.
And this is interesting. Look at Demerine going back for Edward. Actively going back to get Edward now.
Like I said, having that additional meat shield and just somebody to throw items, it's better than nothing.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah,
and there's items behind him as well, so they, especially now that she has those exits, she can get Edward here and take a look for items and then exit out.
Xyrak and Supremacy are through Fable as well, so Mob Bomb, not a big deal early on.
Xyrak taking a moment just to check out the item shop to see if they can get any kind of early advantage at this point.
Yeah, but all 4 racers here are basically at the same point because Demerine's getting Edward, and I believe all other 3 have it already, so they're effectively going to be converging here right at the same time.
Yeah, the seed has not left them with many choices so far. I think depending on what's in Ordeals, or once they hit Eblon Cave, it's definitely going to open up from there. All right, Demerine making her way through just to get the rest of the items here. Mount Hobbs. See Xyrak taking a moment to check out Kaipo, see what's in the item shop here, maybe double check and see what characters hiding behind the Sand Ruby. No help there at the item shop. There was some life potions, which may have been worth picking up, but
that was Edge with a fever today.
Definitely might be crossing their fingers for a Sand Ruby at this point.
Yeah, and I'd miss this. Supremacy actually skipped over Antlion Cave at the beginning of this. I guess I didn't notice what he was doing in the meantime, but he's going to get the bad news here in a moment.
At this point, several of our runners just selling and setting up their inventory, while Supremacy's making their way through Antlion Cave. Xyrak's checking Troya's items. Not much help here.
Looks like everyone's got the same mindset here. They want more before going forward.
Yeah, some better offense items before diving Ordeals is not a bad thing to get.
And this will be interesting. Xyrak's stopping by Baron. I wonder if he's going to try to get Tella before heading up, or going to wait till after. That'll be interesting. He's going for it.
It's a bold move, Cotton. See if it pays off for him.
Well, Evil Wall's, the easy one here, obviously. He's going to take a couple hits. He'll be dead. Hopefully he's healthy going into whoever the second boss is. Don't be shocked if it's a difficult fight, if he just instantly goes ahead and resets.
Yeah, Evil Wall's going to pack a little bit of a punch, that's for sure. No, they really got to get him down pretty quickly. And it looks like Scratch is making their way up Ordeals.
Yeah.
And congratulations, Supremacy. Here's your hook.
And second boss is Kanazo. Now that's going to be a difficult fight.
Yeah, I believe Rydia should have lit one at least at this point, so that'll help a little bit, but it's going to be dicey.
And Demerine's
and
doing
reset.
Yeah, that's a smart play there, just to reset. It looks like Demerine might be heading down to the cave to see get about improving their party before going forward with this. That's I think it's probably a smart play at this point. It's going to take a little bit of time, but if you have an exit, you can get halfway down, get your character, and get back out.
Ooh, and some hourglasses, that'll be pretty useful.
Yeah, and did you catch who was at Ordeals? Scratch had a very fast reset.
It was really fast. I didn't catch it. Supremacy just immediately Eblon. No doubt, no questioning, just dive in that cave. I need a good character. I need something different. This isn't working.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea. It's a great place. Plus there's all these items down here.
I gotta be careful. They really cannot afford a random encounter here from one of the trap chests. Could be potentially difficult unless they're looking for it. That guide drum will definitely be useful. And not much help from the item shop.
Yeah, this seed has definitely been stringy, not only on its items, but just for accessibility. I think this character that they're going to find down here it could make or break the early part of this seed. It'd be very interesting to see who this is.
The bright side of a seed like this is it's a really good skill check for many runners, and as you can see, they're really not skipping a beat. These 4 runners are definitely on top of their game here.
Oh, Xyrak found it, and instant reset. I love that idea. Find it, avoid it. You can open up everything else. Like Supremacy's got the other idea on this. He's just going straight for the character and not going to worry about the items. I think it's a fine play. The character could make it. If again, let's say it's an early Fusoya. We know it's probably not. Oh, speak of the devil.
And it is Fusoya.
That's going to make a huge deal, especially if he's got an early spell package. That's going to be nice. And I wouldn't even be shocked if he went to, take out the 2 early bosses that are available just to get some more magic here.
Yeah, and our 3 runners converging here really is unfortunate for Demerine. I hope that they can converge on Eblon soon to get that advantage as well.
Well, it looks like she's going to give this one a try. She's going to be disappointed when she sees Kanazo on the other side of this one. And Scratch is taking a shot at these Stalemans. Now, he did pick up those hourglasses.
And may not... Oh, yeah.
Not quick enough.
So Supremacy now feeling bolstered by Fusoya immediately diving Ordeals.
Well, looking at Xyrak's there, doesn't look like Fusoya's got much, just a couple of 1s and not much else going on there, but still, it's better than nothing.
And that Ordeals dive is just going to give him even more spells, so definitely worth doing. Oh, and looks like, yeah, Scratchdragon didn't save right before going into Eblon Cave, so
that's
a little bit of a backtrack. Not too bad.
Okay, it looks like we've got Valvolus up here. Now I see why Scratch instantly reset. A caneless Valvolus? This seed is brutal.
Not pulling any punches.
Yeah, but nice strats there with the vampires. I did see Supremacy buy a stack of those earlier. They are definitely coming in handy now.
Yeah, not a strat you typically see against Valvolus, but a very strong strategy to use. Yeah, unfortunately, Demerine wiping the Kanazo. I'm going to have to regroup.
Supremacy gets it down. And Xyrak looks like is going through the castle here, seeing if he can find some more, a little bit more gas.
Yeah, checking them trap chests. Rumblefish in chat. Valvalis can be hit without Kane. She just has very high evasion. Whoever is in your middle slot has an accuracy bump and are more likely to hit. But depending on what ability you're using, can make a big impact on that. So there is strategies outside of Kane. Kane is just the most consistent way to open her up. And Wyvern here, not a welcome sight for Supremacy.
Well, thankfully, it's at a very slow spot. With the Wyvern flag off, they got the extra turn to get those walls in, and he just punched himself in the face.
Yeah, thankfully they found that those star veils.
Yeah, I think that's probably the worst spot if the Y flag is off, because that's a difficult spot. But this is gonna make a huge difference here for Supremacy here. Now getting through this, I haven't caught if Cecil's got a weapon yet. If they've actually picked up any type of a sword, I think I saw a drain sword. That might be the best one.
I think I might have saw an ancient as well. I mean, nothing great, but definitely better than nothing. And Xyrak, meanwhile, making some good use of the stone spell and vitality glitching to get a little bit of additional experience there as well. You have kind of a split second where you can target someone that's already died with a life spell or a life potion, and you'll see your party member basically try to bring back the dead monster back to life. You won't see anything happen, but the consequence of that is that you'll get double experience for that monster that died. Nothing but a Stardust Rod. That is unfortunate. So these trap chests might be worth fishing here, but looks like they're going to have to end up taking the dive down through Eblon Cave.
Yeah, that Stardust is not necessarily a lost item early on like this. When you're struggling for offense, that's not a bad thing to have.
Definitely, you can use it as an item to use the Stardust ability, basically Comet, and that additional wisdom gain for Rydia, especially if you find any summons for her, is going to be quite a boon.
Yeah, absolutely. You
can never go wrong with Stardust Rod.
And looks like Demerine, I'm guessing, went into the Mist Cave here. It is trying to power up Fusoya.
Not a bad idea. Those additional spells, you could possibly make a difference in time.
Yeah, just getting a single 2, just any of the 2s, or maybe Virus, could make just a world of a difference. But correct me if I'm wrong, unless the Mist Dragon is hanging out here in the waterway, they're out of options. Oh wait, I'm sorry, you know what? They haven't done Telia. They have not gone to Baron.
Yeah, I don't believe anyone... Well, Scratchdragon's attempting to, but I don't believe anybody's finished Baron yet.
Looks like Scratch is going to get this down, though, and he just did. That's a very nice kill with that party.
Yeah, very well done. And Demerine, meanwhile, facing Odin, which should be a pretty easy fight in the Octomom slot.
Just getting the Luca key, so now they're out of options.
Yeah, I think there are still a few trap chests we may not have seen. I don't remember if Xyrak did the one in Eblon Cave or not.
Yeah, it's K2, though. Trap chests are just items.
Oh, is that correct? Okay, so yeah, they're just summon spots then. Then yeah, they're out of options.
Ooh, ouch. Oh, look at that. You don't see that every day.
Yeah. Supposed to be paying dividends there. Looks like Demerine's making their way up ordeals while Supremacy is facing Baron. Scratchdragon also going up ordeals.
So the one advantage Demerine is going to have, spend a little extra time, but having those 2 extra rows of spells that no one else has done yet, going down in that hook route is going to make just all the difference in the world. Again, I would not be shocked if anybody else decided to make that trip before going down there. And a single Ice 3 just destroying Kanazo there. And I believe
quick work there.
Yeah, I believe I saw Virus on that last row of spells for Supremacy. It went really fast, but I think I saw that there. So that's going to be a huge one as well. I didn't catch the other ones. Looks like chat might say that might have been Quake as well. And honestly, if it's Quake, that is a huge, huge pickup.
Definitely useful. Make quick work of a lot of people. And Xyrak finding Wyvern.
Looks like most of them, I think, picked up those Star Veils, so that's going to be... it makes a very difficult fight quite easy.
Ooh, got him up just in time.
And I think that was I believe Xyrak intentionally didn't do anything with Edward to make sure that he got killed off. I think that was intentional. The 1 Star Veil is worth more than Edward's life.
Very likely, yeah. Supremacy, meanwhile, making the same play that Demerine did to boost Fusuya up before deciding to go through Eblon. Just get a little bit of boost for some extra bosses here.
Yep, and I did, Virus and Quake were both learned on that last row, so they should be well equipped going into this. I always find it fascinating that all 4 runners have done very, very different paths, but they're all pretty much converging at the same time. I think Supremacy is going to probably be the first down to the hook, or down to the cave, but not by much.
And Rivers and Chad pointing out Supremacy learned Medio from that last boss on Fusuya, so that's definitely
very nice.
Big pickup.
Yeah, you don't use Medio very often in this game, but there are times, especially with those, like the Lunar Dragons, if they happen to find them down on that route, that would be as long as you can survive long enough to use it. And Nuke. I just saw Nuke on Supremacies as well.
There you go. And Nuke definitely will make all the difference. Yeah, you don't use Medio very often. It's just really slow to cast. But in a pinch, when, nothing else is going to get through, it does bypass walls and it does hit them directly. In a pinch, it can definitely come in handy. It can at least slip you out of a no-win scenario.
Yeah, the Lunar Dragons immediately come to mind as a very difficult encounter down here.
And pretty much left with very little choice. Supremacy making that dive into Eblon Cave.
And also look actively now. Remember, Supremacy came through here earlier, did not open up any chests. Now he's going to start opening those chests.
And you see that Vitality glitch coming into play again. I'm going to cast Life on the Staleman that was just nuked to get that additional experience. And Tella goes down. Cameo2K in chat asking, how do they have Fusio right now at Glitch? This is a randomizer, Cameo. They can pick up any of the characters in several spots. It's randoms which ones they're going to get. And that Sorcerer armor there would be useful for radio, potentially. Ground Flyer in chat asked, is Fu is at lower odds earlier in the race, though, correct? With these flags, technically, yes. It is weighted to be less likely to get Fusoya, but that's just a weighting. So, I mean, he could be the first character you get. It's just... Well, it's supposed to be less likely. It's still very random.
Yeah, in this case, both Fu and Edge, we know where Edge is at, are both behind other items, so it's just they're fortunate that the first one was Fu right behind the hook, and they can get him immediately.
And finding an Artemis bow there, very useful.
So Demerine and Xyrak are both going after this one at the same time as well, getting their last character before heading down.
Yeah, Supremacy at this point seems to kind of be breaking ahead a little bit of the pack, but again, depending on what we see in the underground, that could change very quickly.
Yeah, there can be so many difficult bosses at these two boss locations. This is...
Oh shit!
Alright, and Supremacy facing down some Mad Ogres in a trap chest here. Alright. Demerine making quick work of Baron. Alright, and Supremacy downing and getting an Excalibur. That's a great pickup. Rumblefish, if they have the Legend of the Sword and the Adamant, Coco can just make an additional Excalibur. Alright, Supremacy now.
We finally get to see who this is. Ooh. That's an angry Leviathan.
Well, at least at this point, Supremacy's pretty well equipped to take it on.
Yeah, that again, having these threes here early on against Leviathan, as long as he can get the shots off, which should not be an issue here. Don't suspect this will be too difficult.
And they got an Excalibur for Cecil, so he should be able to put out some pretty high output damage as well.
Absolutely.
Fusia just standing strong, not giving any cares about the tide coming in and slamming his friends in the face.
Now the difficult one. Let's see who we got. It's a moon boss. Didn't we just talk about this?
Now,
I didn't catch what armor does Fusoya have right now, because he's not taking very heavy hits.
I believe he's probably very. They may have switched out his weapon, but he probably still just has the sorcerer armor equipped.
Okay. I mean, this is not a heavy defense, or offensive melee or offensive physical damage spot, but still.
Yeah, the fortunate part about Fusia's just basic armor set that he comes with is some high elemental defense. So
Looks like he's deciding not to go with the Meteor strat, which would almost kill them. He's gonna go with Quakes instead, but it looks like he's able to take these hits.
it just says keep everyone alive in the meantime. And Demerine also facing Leviathan at this point, catching up very quickly.
I see chat calling for the lunar frogs. If nobody caught that the other day, that was incredibly humorous. I can't remember the runner, but was able to reflect the breath attack that these guys did, and they turned themselves into frogs. And there it is.
Lunar Frog!
That is incredible.
Percy knows what they're doing. You can't tell me that's not on purpose.
Yeah, up until I can't remember if it was yesterday or 2 days ago. I did not know that was capable. I did not even know that was an option. It's amazing watching these and seeing so many different strategies. Gives you a very different way to look upon these races.
All right, so Percy managing to defeat the mighty Lunar Frog.
Very nicely done.
Gasp! A pitfall? All right, and all of our runners converging on the spot very quickly. The rest of the runners have more or less caught up to Supremacy and are quickly making their way through to the underground. diving the Fey March cave. Let's see what we can find here.
Looks like Demerine had to reset there. That was lost a couple of characters and wasn't able to finish that one. Just a glass helm.
Supremacy here kind of securing the lead a little bit while our runners are kind of struggling their way through Leviathan and D-Lunars.
Yeah, and again, we see a shop here that does not have a lot. You know, they've just not... The shops have been very unfriendly. There have been no sirens, no coffins, no Bacchus.
Yeah, we're going to have to... At this point, if they don't find any sirens, they're probably going to have to get pretty creative on grinding, either a D-Machine grind or potentially something else to get the levels up that they need.
It looked like King and Queen Elbin in the first spot there. And then it looked like the other one was Bahamut.
Yeah, not what you want to see in that spot.
The Bahamut, no, King and Queen Elbin, though, I believe that was the other one. That one's basically going to be a freebie. I would be pretty surprised if Supremacy doesn't immediately go down there and get that.
At least with Bahamut, they can probably sketch it out with some Star Veils and maybe make quick work out of it. So you may see Supremacy here. Give it a try.
Yeah, no, I like this. And he goes to save to do this. As long as he's got the walls, yeah, this is pretty much free. Yeah, and actually with Fu at 17, he's probably has the item already if they don't have any veils left. So it's very nice summons down here. Not only is it going to give him 2 more items potentially, but really good experience.
Yeah, great place for this to happen. Rivers in chat saying the Hades is awfully nice this time of year. I agree.
I mean, you take a look around down there, it kind of does look like it.
Nice and toasty.
Oh, now here's something interesting. I have not seen this. And, oh, he got it, too. He's going to get bonus experience. Supremacy with the life. Oh, never mind. Doesn't look like you can do it. I'd never actually seen that.
It depends on the boss flags. If the boss flag's on, that wouldn't work.
Got it.
Worth a shot, though.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Unfortunately, didn't get much from that.
Protect Ring could be useful, but not what they were hoping to see, for sure. And we shall test.
Now, the only problem here, he's going to be fast.
Yeah, got the 4 before they could even make a command.
And Scratch found Dark Knight Cecil behind the throne.
Not ideal.
Demerine is through as well, so she'll catch up here. Xyrak's not far behind. Looks like Supremacy got 2 walls off. The big issue here with what Scratch is going to run into, looks like he's going to get through this fight. The problem is his team is just going to be decimated.
Yep, that next fight, depending on what it is, could be pretty useful. Pretty difficult, I should say. Keeping Fu maxed out is definitely the smart move there. Getting that nuke off on Bahamut, and Bahamut is down.
Very nice. Well played.
And Fusi is at full power for Supremacy. Earth Crystal.
Okay, now that's a great item
Yeah.
to get when you have a weak team.
Yeah, progression at the very least.
Oh, looks like it's Yang there in the castle.
And goodbye, Edward.
Eddie is gone. We hardly knew ye. And Demarine's actually going after the two Babel bosses now. All of them have the tower key, so this is a 2-item spot.
And we're definitely seeing the runners already branching out, so it really is anyone's race at this point.
Well, this is fantastic, and Supremacy is going right down for the Sliff Cave. You pretty much know he's going to make a beeline back up to the overworld after this. I don't think you do this unless you go straight to the overworld. Or I guess go to Dwarf Castle first, or oh no, checking items.
Yeah, I'm hoping for those sirens. I guarantee it.
And speaking of the good monk, Demerine has found him.
The great dancing Yang, ready to go.
Oh, and a big item was just Supremacy found the Bacchus there.
And Twin Heart for Scratchdragon. So Supremacy's opting not to face down the Dwarf Castle just quite yet, or they may be just cabining first.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, probably still looking to replace Eddie before going up back to the overworld then. I'm a little surprised he did this in this order, because if the Pan happened to be here, he would have to navigate back through Sliff Cave again.
And sometimes when you're in the heat of the moment, it's...
Yeah, you don't think of it.
You just don't think about it. White robe at the top of the tower. Not too useful at this point. Demerine now going to make their way down, take advantage of that tower key. And potentially from here, if Supremacy gets the Twin Harp, very likely might see them go towards Troya and take care of that Earth Crystal and Twin Harp all in one go.
Yeah, I could... that sounds pretty logical here.
Yeah, Demerine has not been actively trying to keep Edward and Tella up, pretty much just banking on replacing them or just not using them.
Oh, and looks like down on Xyrak's screen, you got a bunch of frogs. Look
The
at those cute
double
little frogs. I swear, before the other day, I did not even know that was...
I had no idea.
That is awesome.
Hopefully those frogs know that justice is not the only right in this world. Glad to see Xyrak getting over that hump of the race so they can get back into it here. Really gave him a struggle. And goodbye, Edward. Alright, Demerine finishing the tower here.
I think they need that.
And a crystal.
Still not in go, but my guess is they're going to want that. Can that frog fly that airship?
I mean, I doubt they have a license, but I don't see why not.
Wow, so huge find there with the crystal. Now they're just going to race for the race for a pass or the dark crystal, and then they have decisions to make. You know, Supremacy is going to have 2 overworld items here that he's going to have after this. I'd be really tempted, plus a turn-in if you wanted to go talk to, go back to Fable. I'd be really, really tempted to go to leave the tower behind here.
Yeah, potential rabbit hole could possibly give Demerine the edge here.
Looks like Xyrak's catching up now as well. He's making his underworld plays. Oh, nice. Oh, Supremacy's not falling for it. Very nice. Yeah, I don't think I would have made that play. With as many items as just got opened up, that overworld is so tempting.
It is tempting, but the tower is right here. That is 2 items.
Yeah, very well played.
With a party this week, that's the tempting play is to go to Earth Crystal, but it is very time consuming.
Yeah, but in the end, not only is this going to work out, immensely, because obviously he's going to find this crystal, he still has to go back because he still has no way to get to the moon. So he's going to set himself up pretty well.
Scratchdragon's finishing up the tower as well. We have not had any wild pass spottings yet.
One thing that, and it might not be the worst play in the world too. They do the Luca key, which is go down there, save, just blow through it, just see what the item is, and if it's super important, you can go with it. The only problem is they'd be, if they wanted to use that as a grind spot, they would only have.
That is true. Our robot overlords definitely know what's up. Beep boop. Alright, Scratchdragon now making their dive into the Fey March Cave. And really, well, we have some slight divergence going into the underground. We're starting to see our racers converge again on several of the same options here. Very exciting race so far.
Yeah, this has been really well played, even with a few issues, getting through the lunar bosses on a couple of them.
Well, just what happens in the future. So, yeah. Let's try this again. Are we sounding any better? All right, good deal. What I haven't told you all is that we're actually broadcasting from the future, so bandwidth is limited.
It looks like Scratch is recognizing those two freebies down there in Feymarsh and is going for them.
It's a good call. Yeah, well, we did see divergence going into the underground. We are starting to see our racers begin to converge again along the same path. Oh, Poydrak, I can't give out spoilers. A spoiler alert, we all win because we get to watch this amazing race. The crystal is in the tower key spot.
Did I miss something here? Why is Supremacy... Okay, I'm sorry. No, Demerine got it first. My bad. I apologize.
Yeah, Supremacy just finished it up.
I was hoping there wasn't a reset in there or something. And, oh, Supremacy is making that play. He's clearing everything down here before going back up. This is a spot I think a lot of people avoid actively, although it's a very easy spot to just check, and then you can make a decision if you want to actually get the item or try to battle through the boss, or just reset.
It's fast enough to at least check. A lot of runners don't consider the fact that they can just reset their way out of it. It's not a useful thing to have, so a lot of people avoid it, but the Supremacy here not shying away from the difficult choices. Many pointing out that some of our runners found the crystal armor for Cecil. You'd be surprised. It's not very useful to a lot of runners. They find it more trouble than it's worth because of the heavy use of Berserk being so common. The crystal armor is one of the few armors in the game, and we found the pass. Supremacy is officially in go mode. But the crystal armor is one of the few armors in the game that nullifies Berserk, so a lot of people don't like to use it.
Oh my, that was Antlion.
And he noped right out of that.
Yeah. Antlion might not appear to be a difficult boss, but if you've ever had to face him at that spot, that is ridiculous.
But at least now he knows.
He's hoping he can find the Dark Crystal, which should be around here somewhere. Yeah, keep in mind, if he really wanted to, if he does, if he decides to do a farm down here, and then what would it be? Would it be quicker to go pick up that pass than to traverse the moon if you happen to be on the surface? That's a pretty close call.
I think really it depends. I mean, if they found a good way to grind, then potentially, but I don't know. Like, if you found that Darkness Crystal, you have the D Machine grind available at that point. So I think that would probably be the quicker bet since we haven't seen any Sirens. If Sirens are available, that'd be a completely different discussion, but since they're not, Darkness Crystal would be the way to go if it comes up.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good play.
Oof, Demerine eating that Mega Nuke on most of the party members, but hopefully we'll be able to take out Bahamut with a follow-up.
It looks like Supremacy's making the Zot play first.
Not getting sidetracked by the items there. Now that they have the Earth Crystal, there's a big bunch of items down there it could have gone after.
Yep, and Scratch actually made up a little bit of time here. If you noticed, he didn't do a couple of things down there in the underworld.
Over Zealots in the chat, Supremacy found the pass to Antlion and had to reset. Well, true. To River's point, he did not have to reset, but was not a bad move.
Yeah, that is the Evil Wall spot is a very difficult spot depending on the boss that you get. It's got very high melee power, and something like Antlion, who he'll knock your party down one at a time.
Yeah, that counterattack is pretty brutal. Scratchdragon and Supremacy are making quick work of Mylon at this point.
And actually, Scratch took a very slow lead here, it looks like.
Potentially. Like Demerine making their way to the overworld now as well.
And we found our duplicate.
Rydia turned into an adult somewhere. Twice. Oh, and Sid.
This is going to be an interesting choice. You probably take this time to get rid of Tella. Yeah. Although Sid is not the most useful character in the world, it's probably still better than a random Tella at this point. And rewarded with the CPU.
And Demerine making their way up as well. We're seeing that convergence again here on the Earth Cave. Or, I'm sorry, the Earth Crystal spot.
I like Scratch was thinking if he could squeeze a nuke in before that wall came back, and then just in the nick of time changed his mind.
Nope.
So, you know, both of these, both Scratch and Supremacy, their party right now is looking pretty good. I don't think they'd hesitate to drop Rydia, but it's not a bad party.
Yeah, it could definitely be a lot worse. And I mean, even worst case scenario, you know, with that Dragon Whip and the right items, I mean, Rydia could also be Berserk to do a little bit of physical damage as well for Zero Miss. Not the most ideal use, but it could be done.
Yeah, keep in mind, and I noticed there that, you know, Scratch has used Bahamut a couple of times now. I have not seen Supremacy use Bahamut. I don't know if that's one that he missed.
Potentially could have been in that trapped chest that Supremacy just didn't check. I believe Scratchdragon went through the Eblon trap chests, and not many other runners went after that, so may have found that in Eblon Castle. Yeah, they're confirming in chat. Scratch from Bahamut and Eblon Castle.
Got it. That's a really good find.
Definitely helps in a pinch. And we found the Baron Key. So, pretty good luck to just so happen to teleport them right over to Baron to use it.
Looks like both Scratch and Supremacy are sitting at 8 key items. I won't be surprised, especially with Supremacy knowing where the pass is and actively going away from it, that unless the Dark Crystal happens to be right here, they'll probably make their way to 10. And even if they do find the Dark Crystal right here, I think it's probably worthwhile to, find that 10th key item as long as it's not a huge time investment.
Well, it's like you pointed out earlier, most runners avoid the Luca Cave like the plague, and I think Supremacy is kind of banking on that a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's not a good spot. It's a good farm spot if you get in a pinch without the Dark Crystal.
Looks like we have a Lunar Boss at Baron. And Plague should be pretty easy at this spot.
Yeah, I can't imagine any boss coming up here is going to be anything difficult, even the tricky ones.
And at this point, we've ran into a lot of the trickier bosses, so...
Yeah. Looks like Xyrak's got his crystal, too, so everyone's got the crystal.
See Xyrak doing kind of a back and forth. They're like, what next?
Well, speaking of tricky bosses, one of the last ones just popped up there.
Yeah. We spoke too soon. Not difficult, just time-consuming.
Yeah, I can't imagine they're going to have any problems here, but... And this is going to be very interesting. While everyone else is back in the overworld, or approaching the overworld, Xyrak is making that dive into the Luca Cave.
It'd be interesting to see if they'd decide to make that gamble on Antlion, or Supremacy decided not to.
Yeah, it's going to be such a difficult encounter, but might be worth it depending on how long it takes everybody else to find the Dark Crystal, because that's has to be what they're looking for. Well, at least for Supremacy. Supremacy knows where the pass is. Like, yeah, there. Got that Bahamut off. Scratch is the first through Castle Baron.
Looks like Demerine is deciding... Oh, looks like they changed their mind. Deciding not to initially use the Baron Key, but have changed their mind and made their way back over.
Oh, that's a great pickup right there.
That is fantastic. Rosa is always what you want to see.
She's the best. You're never going to turn Rosa down.
Rosa Bay is best Bay.
And dropping Sid there, and I think that's especially with Rydia, with Bahamut, I think that's a really good drop there. Supremacy might keep Sid because Rydia is not quite as powerful. Or... yeah, and immediately went and dropped Rydia.
Yep. Bye-bye.
And look down to Xyrak. He's taking a shot. Oh, man,
See if
those
we can
attacks are
burn his way through here.
so fast.
Blake would be useful if he can get it off. And Scratchdragon finding the Sand Ruby in Baron. So they may go pick up Edge.
It's probably worth it. The thing is, though, is who are you going to drop if you pick up Edge? Do you drop Fu because you've already committed so much into Rydia?
At that point, you got your endgame party. Just get rid of Rydia. Get ready for Z. Get ready for Z.
There's probably no wrong answer here.
Easy answer for Supremacy, who already dropped Rydia.
Right, yeah. He'll drop Sid in a heartbeat. But this is going to be very, very interesting. It looks like Xyrak's got his defense up here and probably will take care of Antlion. He's going to have that advantage. He does not have to look for the Dark Crystal if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, this will just be a matter of grinding. Scratch took a moment to drop into the Odin spot. If that's Dark Crystal, that could also be...
Oh, he was looking for... looks like Scratch was looking for either coffins or something like that to get through this fight really easy, but does not have them.
And Xyrak getting that pass, making work of Antlion there and potentially in the lead.
Yeah, that actually looked like it didn't take as long as I thought it would. That's not an easy fight. He handled it very well.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, he's cabining here. He's going to grind.
He's going to grind. And Xyrak is our only racer at this point that is officially in go mode.
Very well played. Yeah, that's a little bit of a gamble, but you know, he did have a little bit of trouble getting through the hook route. He did die a couple of times. And yeah, he's going to grind some walls. He's got his group done.
Well, for El Magus in the chat, I said potential lead in my defense.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on how deep the Dark Crystal is. If it's behind 3 or more gated places, never mind.
There's that crystal.
Just be right there. Yeah, interestingly enough, too, perfectly timed. That is Scratch's item as well. So now that's a really big change because now he's going to be able to go up to the. He'll be able to go to the moon. Start the grind up there if he wants to grind on there, or dragons. Either way he wants to do this, his options are up in there.
Yeah, and Supremacy making potentially that dive as well, so it really could be anybody's race.
Yep.
Yep, immediately diving for the lunar whale.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did Scratch even go grab Edge? I don't think they did.
He's not yet. No, he went straight to. He went straight there. He is not bothered doing it. Yeah. I think who are you gonna? Again, you're. I think Edge is a better, overall character, but I don't think they've picked up weapons for Edge yet.
Yeah, no, not a lot of potential good stuff there for Edge. And at this point, I'm not even sure if Scratch even checked. So they may not know Edge is there. They're not wanting to waste the time.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, he might not have. I do not remember. Yeah, and Demerine's getting that Sand Ruby there too. Again, I do not recall if she's checked it either.
And immediately making their way to go for that D machine grind.
Yep. Yeah, that's going to be a... it's going to be... With 10, it does not take long. 10 to 12, dragons, it's all you need. I will say, Xyrak's team is looking pretty good. Got to wonder if he's keeping an eye on Tella and trying to use Tella as an anchor. But they're starting to get up there. This grind does go fast. The doors give good experience.
With having Cecil in the party, Tella's pretty much just a non-starter.
Oh, that's right. I apologize. Yeah, I was just saying that as I looked and saw Tella, or saw Cecil on his butt.
Yeah, so Tella will pretty much just be there to be a mop. Yeah, I agree with Naidu in chat. Would not be surprised if they just 3-man it.
Yeah, it's viable. I mean, keep in mind Cecil's got Excalibur, so he's got a great weapon. Yeah, the only thing you have to worry about if you go into the fight with just Fusoya like that is Fusoya is your healer, and his magic is capped at 190 unless you've given him Soma Drops, so make sure you have some ways to get that magic back.
And unfortunately, it looks like Demarine's getting sidetracked by the Twin Harp rabbit hole up here. Just the way randomizing go.
Well, she's lucky it's a dead end. Or something amazing.
She just wants to give us that sweet music. She's nice like that. She's here for the fans.
Looks like Scratch's first attempt at a dragon grind failed. Found the horseman.
And there we go.
It looks like Supremacy is following suit as well, also going to do the Dragon Grind. So it's going to be really close between Supremacy and Scratchdragon.
Vanilla Elf here.
Yeah, and as Mags is saying in chat as well, keep an eye on Xyrak. He's really close to where he needs to be. It's not going to be a fast fight, but yeah, he's really close.
Supremacy making their way down now. Ah, what a lovely song. Some good old Roses in May. Or no, that's the Anarchan. I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's it.
What the those things sound similar.
And then found Xyrak.
Demerine finding Mist Dragon.
Yeah, that is
Another.
that lead too far down the rabbit hole. Oh no, there's the pan.
Oh, Derek missed. Oh, that pan, more rabbit hole. Xyrak starting to look pretty good.
I think this is going to be a lot closer than we originally thought. I think Scratch is on like 14 or 15 dragons at this point. So he's, yeah, it looks like he's finishing up. He's done. He has to go through the moon route, though.
I mean, if he's just diving through it, though, that's not too bad of a walk if you're just rushing it.
Yeah, and he got just under 1 million experience.
I'd say any levels at this point are just for safety for Xyrak.
Looks like he's going deeper, though. He wants to get another one. Oh, damn, I just found the magma key. Oh, man. Yeah, Demerine's biting on that pan. She's getting further and further away from either the pass or the Dark Crystal, unfortunately.
It's easy for that to happen. Depending on the order in which you get your items, just really get brought down that rabbit hole pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, you can't blame her for this. It's 2 items, very quick to do.
Pass, I believe, was in the Odin spot.
Pass was at Luca.
Oh, yeah, Luca. Yeah, that was Dark Crystal. Thank you.
Back and yang over the head.
Looks like Xyrak is comfortable with their levels, and they're doing a quick item drop and ready to go.
Yep, picking up Bacchus here. So, I mean, he's going to be effectively 3-manning this fight. His other 2 party members are not going to last very long. But it's going to be interesting.
And a twin for your troubles.
Not exactly sure where Xyrak's going on this one. Demerine's picking up a piece of adamant armor, though. Did find that pink tail.
Yeah, I'm not sure what.
Oh, Xyrak wants more levels. He ran out of doors.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's going after the trap chests. Which, I mean, the experience is not horrible down here.
Yeah, he can Vitality Glitch a few and hopefully make quick work of this. But giving Scratch the time they need to make their way through the lunar subterranean here.
Yep, and yeah, these Morbros are the ones you want to find. They probably, I think they give the best experience down here. They're not difficult to kill.
Some good old mole bowls.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's only 1 trap chest that contains these. I wasn't paying attention. I did not notice if he's tracking Cecil's agility or not, and is trying for a nice agility. But I think, based off of the health, he's already over that number.
Yeah, I don't believe that's the concern at this point.
Yeah, it looks like he was at 46, so he's already past the sweet spot. And Supremacy's done already out there. He had a really good dragon grind.
And Ghosts here, which is a little bit of a time-consuming fight because they all have to cast those fires before you can get a chance to finish them.
So it looks like this is Scratch's to win as long as he doesn't have a bad Z fight. Nope, good news, Demerine is making the stopping by Baron. That can only mean one thing. Going going for that Odin spot.
And that is good to see.
Yeah, she'll be able to make that up pretty quick. And she already has her items, so she can go grind immediately. And we're approaching, I don't know about you, this is always my favorite part of a new seed, is what's the sprite going to be?
Oh yeah, there's just been so many added. Shala Kitty from our community has just done some fantastic work, and I don't remember the exact number, but at least 100 or hundreds of new sprites have been added in with the last patch, and never know what we're gonna see here. These Z fights, 250 plus, she says.
That's incredible. It's such a good effort, and there's a few of them that I've laughed so hard.
Yeah, we saw one from Final Fantasy Chocobo Fables the other day. That one put a big old smile on my face. Oh my lord.
Thomas is very cross.
I am legitimately frightened. I'm triggered right now. Thomas.
Anybody out there with kids can appreciate this.
Oh my.
Or if you're young enough to know, if you're young enough to go through this.
Those eyes are boring into my soul. This is nightmare fuel for days.
I love it.
Scratchdragon in a really good position here. This shouldn't be that difficult of a fight.
Demerine's finally found her dark crystal.
Shala, you have created the things of my nightmares. And we're bouncing some nukes for good measure, because why not? And Demerine finally getting their darkness crystal. Looks like Xyrak has finished up their grind as well.
I think she's going down to grab Bacchus before she goes. I think she's been down there and knows that they're... Or not! No, she's going to go into the sealed cave. Interesting. I bet... Okay, you know what? She's going to grind. She's going to grind on the doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, with 10 items, it is a pretty fast... It's pretty fast grind. And surprisingly enough, Supremacy is deciding to not go immediately to Zemus. A few more levels.
And Xyrak taking advantage of their pass, making their way to Z.
Yep.
Scratch not having any problems with Zemus so far. That's just a matter of time.
Yeah, he's in great shape, especially with that Berserk Cecil with Excalibur. That thing just does tons of damage.
Xyrak going to be the second one to see the nightmare fuel. That is Tamus.
It's like Supremacy just wanted one. I wonder if there was a different number he wanted to be at. So this could still be close. Keep in mind, Xyrak is going to be short-manned in this fight very quickly, so that is going to give Supremacy a little bit of time to make up some ground. It could be very close.
Yeah, and the damage output potential here as well.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, and there's Meteor Phase.
Dragon close to putting this just nightmare down for good.
And there it is.
Yep. GG. Scratchdragon finishing in first place with a time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, 20 seconds.
Very well played.
Very well played.
Yeah, and a very, very clean Zemus fight. So now it's going to be a race for second. I think keep an eye on this one. This one's going to be really close.
Yeah, with the damage output potential that Supremacy has here, he could catch up in a hurry.
Yeah, it looks like he's focusing with Rydia to be the bounce for any reflex, but also got a couple of cures through there. She's not long for this world.
And down she goes.
Yeah, and this is what we were talking about. It's going to be a 5 versus 3, so this is going to be very close.
The HPs she run out. Supremacy eating a nuke there on Rosa, but easily able to take that at this point. And fortunately, we have Scratchdragon here for an interview after that. GG, by the way, on your first place win. That was a fantastic run.
Thank you. I was 100% sure I was behind because I messed up the beginning of the game. I was there like, okay, I got bopped by this, I got bopped by that. I'm 99% sure I'm behind.
Sweating some bullets there.
Kind of. Like, I was looking at it, and then the only reason I would have even had an inkling that I was ahead is that I found the Excalibur, I found Bahamut, I found the Artemis bow. I mean, that's the only thing.
I think you were the only one of the few that grabbed that Bahamut. I think that did pay off pretty well for you. That was a very interesting seed.
Oh yeah. I wasn't sure where anything was going because you were so weak at the beginning of the run. As a matter of fact, the fact that I won, I'm kind of shaking right now.
Congratulations! It was well thought for sure. We have Supremacy and Xyrak for second right now at Zemus, and the pass was at the Blue Cave.
It was that.
Sorry, we're roboting everybody in here. 1 moment. Clear it up.
Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna disconnect and get a lot of robot sounds.
All right, let's give that a try now.
Yeah, can you hear us now, Scratch?
Here you go.
Yeah, it sounds much better. So
Yeah, we've been having some problems off and on tonight. The pass was at the Luca cave.
I thought it might have been, but I said, you know what? I'm gonna skip Luca and I'm gonna skip Twin Harp. I'm gonna go do everything else until I absolutely had to. If I didn't find anything in Baron, I was gonna go back to Luca, but there was no sirens. There was no grind, unless I missed it.
You didn't miss anything.
No, that's really paid off for you. Was the fact that D machine grind really saved you a lot of time.
Yeah, that was a really good D machine grind, and honestly, you mentioned earlier too that you thought you were behind, and you were behind for a little bit. That pickup of Bahamut made a huge deal.
Yeah, I figured that if these guys didn't pick up Bahamut or the Excalibur, they were. I mean, I was pretty sure they picked up the Excalibur, but if they didn't pick up Bahamut, there was a bunch of fights that was just gonna take forever. Like once I finally got to the what was it? Who was in the Ruby spot? I forget already. Oh, it was the two the D-Lunars. The Bahamut did work on them.
And GG to Supremacy. You got second place with a time of 1:39.04. Xyrak now hitting medio phase. Really tightly coming on that third place spot. Really close here. And just squeezing out third place with 1:39.35 there with Cecil just barely hanging on.
Wow, 30 seconds difference. That was the 5 versus 3 difference right there. Wow, so close.
GG's to everyone. I'm gonna head out real quick. I'm gonna take like a 5-minute break because I have another race in.
Got another one, yeah.
5 minutes.
Good luck, dude.
Good luck.
Thank you. I'll see you guys at the other side.